so I'm going to demonstrate how to perform a manual muscle test for the muscles involved in shoulder flexion. So first, what you want to have the patient do is you want to have them seated, feet planted firmly on the floor, scoot over forward, good posture, and arms at the side, palms facing inward towards themselves. And then what I want you to do, Deja, is you can palpate the anterior delta. The two muscles that we're going to be testing is the anterior deltoid and the coracobrachialis. So I'm going to have you just raise your arm up just like this. So make sure she can perform the movement. Okay, good. And I'm palpating the anterior deltoid as well. And so what I want you to do is bring it up about halfway. You're going to stabilize over the superior portion of the scapula, over the clavicle and acromion process. And you want to be just proximal to the joint line at the elbow. So that's where your resistance are going to be. So I'm going to tell the patient, I'm going to say, I'm going to apply some resistance. I just want you to hold it. I don't want to push you down, okay? Ready? Hold it. Hold, 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 hold. Relax. And so she would get a 5 for that, most definitely. If the patient is not able to perform the motion in gravity resisted, which she is in right now, you can lie the patient down sideline, facing that.
Excuse me.
And you can line up 2 tables. I'm going to raise the bed just a little bit, okay? And have you scoot a little bit closer to the edge. Okay? So what we're going to do, do you need a pillow or anything? Okay. So you want the patient to be as close to 0 degrees of flexion as possible, and then something to reduce the friction of the motion. And so I'm going to come back here, palpate the anterior deltoid, and if I was able to raise these tables higher, it would be preferable to test the one that she's not lying on. So I will try to do that. I'll raise these a little bit. Think you'll be able to do that with the. Right about here, you want them as close to 0 degrees of flexion as possible. And then I'm going to palpate the anterior deltoid. And what I want you to do, Deja, is just raise your arm up as high as you can. And then she didn't even need the pillowcase to reduce the friction, and I'm palpating the anterior deltoid. So she's able to move it in full range of motion, gravity eliminated. And obviously you would not apply any resistance to that. Any questions?
Any things to consider, considerations, or
Yep, definitely. So
errors
yeah,
to keep in
so
mind?
things to consider. In the seated position, gravity resisted, the patient may do some back extension to try to cheat and get some excess range of motion. Another consideration is when stabilizing, the therapist must be aware to not cover up the anterior deltoid or the shoulder joint. You want to be superior over here on top of the clavicle and acromion process.
And you want to be sure that you stabilize during gravity eliminated too.
Correct,
So one
yeah.
hand stabilizing and
I
one hand
was
palpating.
palpating because it's gravity limited. You can stabilize with 2 hands, but I was stabilizing and palpating at the same time. So yes, definitely stabilizing gravity limited as well.